Hey, I'd like to welcome you to another episode of Money Matters Top Tips for Success, where each and every day I bring on new business owners, entrepreneurs, and executives and have them share their top tips for success with you. My name is Adam Torres. You can follow me on Instagram at AskAdamTorres. Keep up with my book releases, book tour schedule, signings, all that other good stuff. Always love to connect with you there. And as always, if you'd like to apply to become a co-author of one of my upcoming books, just head on over to the website, moneymatterstoptips.com, and click on Become an Author to apply. All right, so today I have Aaron Stahl on the line, and he's president and co-founder over at P3 Cost Analysts. Aaron, welcome to the show.
Yeah, hey, Adam, appreciate you having me on.
So I'm excited to get more into what you're doing over at P3 Cost Analysts and how you're helping your clients. But before we do that, let's get a little bit further into your background. So how'd you get started in your career and in business?
Sure. Well, yeah, for me, it started all the way back in college. It was probably my junior year of college that I really caught the entrepreneurial bug. All my friends were getting ready to graduate and learning or applying for internships. And I noticed everybody was really looking like they were headed down the path of a 40-hour week, working for corporate America, what felt like the rat race to me. So I wasn't sure what I wanted to do, but I knew for sure that I didn't want to do that. So I immediately started looking for ways to make money myself, businesses to get into, and kind of pave my own way. And so at the time, real estate was really booming, and I put together a team, and we started building houses and had a little bit of success in that, but I knew it wasn't something that I wanted to do forever. One of those reasons was the recession was starting to kick in, and it just wasn't obviously the industry you wanted to be in. So I was looking for something a little more recession-proof, and I stumbled across the cost reduction industry and became a waste consultant and opened up shop that way. And then over the years, we've added more and more expense categories to the company that we have today.
Wow, what a great story. So you knew coming out of college, you said, this is it for me. I'm not going to do that 40-hour week. I want an 80-hour week, right?
Yeah, right. Yeah, you got to be careful. You got to be careful what you wish for sure.
That's awesome. So obviously, you've come a long way. You've been in business many years, over 15 years. Congratulations, great accomplishment there. First of all, and in your niche and with your businesses with the P3 brand. That being said, there's some younger entrepreneurs that are just getting out of college maybe, and they're probably in that same situation that you were. They're like, I don't know if I want to do that 40-hour week. I want that 80-hour week. What kind of advice would you give to that new would-be entrepreneur that's really just getting started?
Yeah, well, I'd tell them all to go for it. I encourage everybody I meet to start their own business, work for themselves. It's just a pretty gratifying way to make a living and control your own destiny. But the other piece of advice I would give them is to start small. When I first started, I was pretty ambitious, and there's nothing wrong with being ambitious, but you got to be smart about it. And I spent a long time calling on Fortune 500 companies as a one-man shop, thinking I could get in the door and make $1 million on one deal. And I learned after a while that is not how it works. And even the biggest companies in the world start small. I mean, Tyson started with a pickup truck, and Walmart started with one store, and Facebook, I'm sure, started with one user. So I would tell everybody just not be afraid to start small, and it makes for a better story anyway.
That's awesome. I love that advice. So let's switch it up a bit. I want to get into what you're doing over at P3 Cost Analysts. So first, tell me a little bit more about the business, please.
Yeah, thanks. So we're a nationwide cost reduction consulting firm. We specialize in saving our clients money on telecom, utility, merchant processing, and waste expenses. So that means we use our in-house decades of expertise to help our clients save money. So we'll go to work for them on a risk-free shared savings basis and then review those expense categories, bring them recommendations on how to save money, and if they approve them, we implement them for them. And then only once they're actually saving money do we begin to share in those savings.
What kind of clients are your kind of sweet spot that you like to work with, and industries also?
Yeah, I mean, we really say anybody kind of in that medium range. I mean, we can work with the Fortune 100. It's just hard to get through the red tape. So I tell people, if we have a friend of ours or a brother that's the CFO of a big company like that, we can go after them. But for the most part, the best bang for your buck and the best ROI on the time spent talking to businesses out there, it's that middle middle-sized, medium-sized company out there.
What kind of, because obviously it sounds great, and I've seen other businesses, other areas in the cost reduction space, and it seems like it just seems like a no-brainer to me. I mean, it's a win-win. So you're saying, okay, you have all these costs, you have these expenses, they're pretty much fixed, and you don't have the time to go out and shop or to make sure, or the experience, even if you did have the time to go out and shop, to really deal with something like, let's just pick one, merchant processing, which has a lot of different layers and a lot of, depending on the industry or the type of business and how much they use processing, could be really substantial savings. Yet some business owners still don't go down that route. Why do you think that is?
Well, sure. I mean, we definitely think it's a no-brainer. I mean, at the end of the day, they're either going to be better off after our service, or it doesn't cost them anything. So it's really, we're bringing our clients a bucket of cash, and we just keep a portion of that. So at the end of the day, not every client's going to say yes. I mean, we close about 50% of the deals where we get in front of the decision maker. And the people that don't say yes, we either didn't do a good enough job convincing them of the need, or they think they have the in-house capabilities, but that's just not the case. These are highly complicated industries, and without having experts that focus on these categories every day and have those years of expertise, there's no way that they're going to be successful in managing those expenses. So it's our job to present that correctly to the client and show them of that. And 9 out of 10 times we find savings for our clients, and that really just proves the need for our service.
That's awesome, and I think another part of it could be that they just don't know that this type of service exists. Meaning, it kind of sounds too good to be true. So the first guy that knocks on your door says, "Hey, I'm going to save you money and on your expenses. Not going to cost you anything unless I find that." It probably throws them off a little. Am I wrong or am I right? You tell me.
No, you're right. We definitely have to fight off the too good to be true mentality sometimes. And when clients have that, we have to remind them, hey, we're making money here, we're getting paid. It's just a win-win for everybody. So once they come back to realizing that, hey, we're making money, they realize that there's no ulterior motive. We're just trying to help them save money and us make money in the process.
What areas do you work in? Is this nationwide? Is it local to you? What kind of areas do you work in for your clients?
Yeah, we work all over the country, nationwide. So to date, we've worked at over 30,000 client locations in all 50 states, Canada, and Puerto Rico. And like I said earlier, the main target for us is that middle market, but we work with anybody bigger than a mom and pop and up to that Fortune 500 even.
Can you give a quick example of, you don't have to give a name of a client, but of a type of thing that you've been able to do for a client in the past in terms of savings, whether it was on a service, just to put a little bit more meat around it? Because I know there's some business owners right now that are like, they're in their car, they're listening, and they're thinking, oh, well, yeah, great. Is this worth my time in terms of saving? Everybody says they can save us money or help us or these other things, but is it really worth the time of going down that route? And like, how much time does this take?
Absolutely. I think one example, we worked for a school district not too long ago, and we looked at all their expenses, but one particular area we found some savings was on their telecom expenses, and they had a particular fee that was being mischarged by a factor of about 20x, and you wouldn't have noticed this unless you knew what you're looking for, and our auditors had to review the customer service records to find this out. And I would encourage any business owners listening to request a customer service record from their vendor and take a look at it. It reads like hieroglyphics, and you have to be able to interpret that to know what you're spending and if what you're spending is accurate. And so we dove into that particular account. After a while, we realized that this particular fee was not accurate, and so we worked to get a refund, and it ended up being a $150,000 refund. It took about 9 months to get back because, surprisingly, the vendors don't just hand over money even if they miss bill, but we were correct and had the truth on our side and went to bat for our clients and eventually got that money back for them.
Wow, that's amazing. And I figured it. I figured that for some people, and depending on how long these things have happened, it's a 6-figure difference. I mean, I get it. That's awesome. Mm-hmm. So Aaron, if somebody's listening to this and they want more information on P3 Cost Analysts or to follow up, what's the best way for them to get that info?
I think the easiest thing to do would be just go to our website, www.costanalysts.com. You can also find me on LinkedIn, and then my email is Aaron, Aaron, @costanalysts.com.
Fantastic. Well, hey, Aaron, I really appreciate you coming on the show today and sharing more about your background and all the great work that you're doing to save your clients money over at P3 Cost Analysts. And to the audience, as always, thank you for tuning in. Hope you got a lot of value out of this. If you did, don't forget to subscribe to the podcast, leave me a review on the Apple iTunes store, send this to your friends and family. I mean, share it with them. Do all those great things we do to support our podcasters. I really do appreciate it. And Aaron, thanks again for coming on the show.